Alright, everybody. After some interesting issues to start us out here, we're going to jump into the finals of the Battlegrounds upper bracket tonight, and we're going to have Minomone versus Timbrhoggvandi. So, we're going to jump right in. Hitch, you ready? Alright, let's go. So, game one, Arabia. Minomone has selected the Slavs. And a familiar strategy we've seen a few times, Timbrhoggvandi has selected the Mongols. I mean, I mean, we saw Timbrhoggvandi go this route just last night when we casted his games, and interestingly, with Mongols he went into Knights last night to start. So, nope, you're right. But he went with Knights to start here, and then forward castled on his opponent, and yeah, so, I mean, I think the Slav player, which is Minomone here, could have a really good shot if he produces more knights, especially with that eco bonus for the farms. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, it definitely stands to reason. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out. A lot of strategies are already going to be like shown if they've watched the YouTube videos or watched here on Twitch. They're going to have a good idea what's probably coming their way. But that Eh, it's not terrible. I mean, it's been better for him lately in the last couple of games we saw him in. But I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, he's still going to be able to have, his resources pretty safe. I don't think the Slav player is going to go into archers at this point, so I'm not too concerned for him. Ooh, that was a close, almost lost Ville there for Timbrhoggvandi as well. But I mean, if he gets going into castles, his stone is fairly safe there. He'll be able to wall that one in pretty easily, I think. Yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, the resources are pretty spread for Minomone as well. I mean, he doesn't have anything all that close except for his two golds there to the right of his base. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see who plays what at this point. Timbrhoggvandi, obviously, Mongols are insane late game. He gets his numbers up. It should be really good. I mean, he could easily castle any of his resources here and have them all safe. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's gonna. Oh, well, looks like he is actually gonna get that scout. He didn't micro it away at all. But so he's gonna have the scouting advantage here, assuming he doesn't lose his scout under the town center. Yeah, absolutely. And he's going up really quickly here again. Another 18 pop up for Timbrhoggvandi with the Mongols. That hunting bonus, he didn't use it last time to take advantage to get even more scout numbers out, so let's see if he gets it out here. Exorcist is in the chat. He is in the finals for the other bracket, and yeah, no problem, man. I heard when you guys were playing. Appreciate you letting me know, though. Minimum. I mean, he's definitely gonna go for some really far aggressive walls here. It looks like, and then he actually mined up load. Sorry, he's stumbling over my words here. He put a palisade in against one of his mining camps and a house to keep those gold villagers safe. There's a good chance that he's looking into seeing a scout rush come forward, I think, especially if he's prepared and watched the previous matchups that Timbrhoggvandi has played. So, yeah, so that's going to be even more interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with doing it so close in succession, I guess. But we're actually going to see militia coming out for Minomone, which might not be a terrible idea. He may get some value out of them. He'll at least see the stable and stuff going forward. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could have waited just another second there and had the same HP and everything going forward. But, I mean, he is forward. He does see the stable. He is seeing scouts come out, so I would accept. Yeah, and I mean, if he could get in here, get any sort of idle time, any sort of damage in, you know, it's going to help. I mean, at the very least, this Drush is turning into man-at-arms. He's actually going to hold back the scouts going forward for the time being, and that will allow him time to wall up pretty decently here. I mean, he is going for a really big wall off, so it's kind of going to take some time, though. Yeah, and he's going to play it safe. He's going to get some spears out at home. I mean, his eco isn't all that badly exposed. I mean, he has gone for a really big wall off, which is going to hurt him in this rush with coming 3 scouts coming forward now. But he is going to have spears. He should be able to defend from it pretty decently. Shouldn't take too many losses. Yeah, but he'll have safe gold. His main concern will be his woodline and his berries. He's already got a spear on the berries. Woodline's obviously going to get hit here. But either way, I mean, I like the way Minomone's played this. He drushed, he tried to buy himself some time, even though he knew it was coming. He did get the Man-at-Arms upgrade, which I think probably helped him out, you know, survive that fight a little bit longer. And, you know, Timbrhoggvandi, he's not even taking fight. He's actually just lost a little bit of HP just getting hit by Vills. Yeah, and he's actually going to lose one. HP's low on the other two. More scouts are being produced, should be coming forward here pretty quickly. But, I mean, Minomone's done a good job defending himself here. He's looking good on res at the moment. Yeah, they're both really focused on the military microing right now. But, I mean, at the same time, I think that, you know, it's going to work out fine for both of them since they're both doing the same thing. What's going to be interesting now is we're going to have 6 scouts coming in for Timbrhoggvandi. Yeah, I mean that's definitely what he's gonna need to do. I mean he shouldn't be too far behind. I mean he even with a few villagers less, with the farming bonus and 12 farms already out, I mean he shouldn't have much issue. The problem is if he loses too many vills here, he's gonna have quite a few villagers go down here at this moment, and harassment for Timbrhoggvandi coming in. He's doing what he wanted to do with his game plan here. Minomone actually fighting with Vills. Gonna end up losing like 4 or 5 of them at this rate. Yeah, even if he would have just walled up that wood line at this rate, I mean, he did go for a really big wall off, so trying to wall behind that I think isn't a bad play at all. I mean, Timbrhoggvandi is still producing scouts. He's still trying to push his advantage right now. He is 8 villagers up. I mean, he's looking to be in a good shape. Unfortunately, though, I think he's going to be up quite a bit behind. Actually, no, his res looks pretty good as well. Oh, I would definitely agree. I mean, he's definitely caused quite a bit of idle time, killed quite a few vills, created a lot of idle time on just villagers themselves. We are going to see a stable come up here for Minomone, and a Timbrhoggvandi just clicked up. Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably going to try to focus on this wall attempt here and get it down. The problem is he's got 2 scouts headed back, 4 more vills in that wood line. Yeah, and the problem with this right now is going to be Timberhawk. He's already on stone. We know what he's going to switch into, and he's already going to be ahead in villagers. He knows that after taking out, what was it, 5, 6 villagers on the wood line. Looks like he's going to actually take out another one here. He's got the villager advantage. He's comfortably behind, walls now. Minomone's getting them up, but Cav archers can range everything. I wouldn't be too surprised. I don't think they can hear you, Hitch. Is this correct, chat? Are you not hearing him right now? That is very unfortunate. Hold on. This is not right. Speak now. Can they hear you now? This is why we can't have nice things, Weasel. Yeah, I know, Weasel. Alright. Let me... I'm gonna boost your volume up as loud as it'll go. Speak. Can you guys hear him now? I hope so, because he's super loud in my ears right now. No. I didn't change it. God. finish this one and we'll go from there. Alright, sorry about the issues, guys. Audio issues still haven't been resolved. Both players in Castle Age now. We're going to see Knights and Cav Archers actually come out for Timbrhoggvandi here. And he's pushing his advantage. He's got Knights in Minomone's base already. He's getting a lot of units out. We have 2 town centers here for Minomone, which is going to be nice, but we have a lot of military flooding in here to his base, which isn't ideal at all. On the other side, we've already got 2 town centers up. Cav Archers coming in, and actually Minomone has a great move. He goes ahead and blocks off the walls over here, saves himself a good bit there. And yep, he's got some skirmishers coming out, which will counter his Cav Archers. Knights, so right now it looks like Minomone is going to be looking for pikes and skirms at this point, which isn't exactly what you want to go with, but you don't have a whole lot of option right now whenever you've been hit so hard. And I mean, the villager lead is up to almost 20 right now, and that's going to be difficult. I mean, it's very difficult to deal with this. I mean, Minomone's doing a good job doing what he can with what eco he has right now. I mean, he's got walls going up, trying to block everything off. He's got villagers pumping out 2 TCs constantly. And the issue is the Mongols, they're going to have castle before too long. And as soon as that happens, Mangadai are going to come out, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to counter this. Just have to wait and see. I mean, there's a lot of idols for Timbrhogg, yes, but I think he's just moving them around. Building some houses, maybe. Yeah, he was housed there a minute ago, so he's probably just moved them. But I mean, things are they're getting where they need to be for Minomone. He's stabilized at home now. He has nothing inside of his base. He has lost some villagers, but he is at the military lead. He does have a good bit of skirmishers, now elite skirmishers, and yeah, they're gonna deal good damage against these Cav Archers. And I like this 3rd TC coming up for Minomone. He can't push out really. He's gonna be behind, for a good little while. So just boom, try to get everything you can, and try to turn it around after you play defensively for a little bit. Yeah, and we have the forward castle coming in now for Timbrhogg. It's going to be pretty close to the base of Minomone at this point. I personally would have liked to see it on this castle more, or on this hill a little bit more, but I mean, nonetheless, he's pressuring. He's going to start making Mangadai. Mangadai are going to be able to sit behind every wood line here and just hit villagers even. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see a good number of units be produced for him. And I mean, he keeps going Cav Archers and Knights. He's getting his upgrades in, so the Mangadai are going to have quite a few upgrades whenever the time comes. And unfortunately, Minomone has to chase right now. He doesn't have much option but to chase, and you never want to be chasing. It's always hard to win if you have to chase. It's been pretty messy for Minomone at this point, but he's been under such constant pressure. There's only so much that he can do. He's at 10 idols. Timbrhoggvandi has a bunch of idols as well. Not sure where his idols were coming from or why at this point. He does have some on the castle, but he's doing what he can do with all that. I mean, Timbrhogg, he's probably just focusing his units right now, trying to do as much damage as possible. And the minute he looks away, he's actually going to lose a decent bit of army here. But the eco lead is up, 30 plus vills, almost 30 plus vills now. Knights are still in. You got your skirmishers and pikes are just chasing. Mangadai are coming out. Another town center coming in. I think this is Timbrhogg's game to lose at this point. And yeah, he's even just shift-clicked the knights around. He's like, I'll make your army chase me while I buy some more time to get more numbers up. Hey, thank you very much for the follow there, Interception. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, the build here is really good for Timbrhoggvandi. He's done this twice already in the tournament, and he really likes to play Mongols on Arabia. Can't say that I blame him. They're an excellent Arabia civ, especially, if you have your build down, and he does. He's gone up with 18 pop each time and made it work for him. Minomone is trying to stabilize some more, though. He is trying to get his villager count up still, which he absolutely needs to do. 109 to 80 vills. His villagers have been outnumbered. The count's been outnumbered for so long. It's going to be hard to turn this around, but he's definitely giving it his all, trying. I mean, with slab farming, who knows? It may just work out for him. I mean, neither player is going to be clicking up right now, but it's pretty close for both. I think that Timberhawk could actually stop military production and maybe buy a little food and be up. But those skirms are going to hold just fine against the Mangadai. Pikes will come in for the knights, so the composition's good to counter what Timberhawk is sending forward. But I think we're going to start seeing that light cav switch before too long, as Timbrhoggvandi is on his way to the Imperial Age. As soon as the trebuchets start coming out, it's going to be very difficult to hold. Minomone isn't going to be too far off, but he's going to be far enough behind, I think, that the trebs will come out, especially since there's no castle here for Minomone yet. And his army is mostly, skirmishers and spears at this point, which isn't a bad thing given what is facing composition-wise, but do you really want to have skirms versus Mangadai all game and have some spears in there as well? I mean, I don't think anyone wants to sit and play in that position. More barracks coming up. Monastery did come out for both players, I believe, yep, and Timbrhoggvandi has already collected a relic. So he is trying to work out some late game relics into the mix. Very forward castle right here for Timbrhoggvandi, and the skirms are going to do what they can to try to prevent this, but pikes are going to come in and just get shot down from the castle. Mangadai are in the back of the base here. That castle's not up yet. It's been denied for now, but it'll go up here before too long. Gonna have 2 castles to none. We're gonna have, most likely I don't see any forward siege workshops, so we're probably just gonna have a big light cav raid with some trebs and Mangadai here and there, and some knights as well. And this strategy's worked out really well here for Timbrhoggvandi. He never worried about walling up his base, didn't even bother trying to do that, just went 18 pop into scouts, pressed his advantage, and he's, done a really good job. He is losing some military here, which isn't really ideal considering he just hit the Imperial Age and has lost a good chunk of military, but he did do a lot of damage, has continued to do damage for most of the game here. And we actually have Cavalier coming in for Timbrhoggvandi, so he's not even going to go into a full Mangadai switch with Siege. He's just going to go Cavalier, it looks like. And it looks like we're going to see a lot of Halberdier play from Minomone, which at this point, I think his composition, he can't really build anything else than this right now. I think he's got to be able to keep producing. I mean, his res isn't the greatest. He is getting his upgrades. He is going to try to get into the Nightline eventually, I think, but I don't know. We'll see if the game lasts that long. Another forward castle on those archery ranges. I mean, the military numbers are just going to keep growing for Timbrhoggvandi, and I think they're just going to go down very quickly here, especially now that Cavalier's in. The scouts have already started in production. Mangadai is going to be produced from 3 castles. Trebs are already out, and they're just going to start taking down buildings. And I don't even know if they're going to take down 1 Treb at this point, maybe 1. But yeah, here goes the Cav. And this is the nice thing about his mobility right now, is he can raid in multiple places. All of Minomone's army is just getting shut out by castles. Cavalier running in the back. There are going to be some pikemen being produced back there, but all in all, I think it's definitely going to be coming to a close here before too long. Both players played it really well. Minomone did a good job to try to limit his damages early on. He did lose a decent amount of villagers, but he did stick into this. He is still pushing. He is still trying. He's just not having any luck. I think the military advantage, the units, the composition is just so good right now for Mongols, and this is why people love Mongols. It's so hard to push them late game scenarios. So you see you got Hussar just everywhere, just raiding the eco constantly. The KD is hard to look at right now if you're Minomone situation. 70 kills to 133 deaths and vice versa. Stopping barracks from coming up. Still gonna go ahead and take all these trebs forward. Oh, look at all these stables forward, all these castles forward. This is a sad situation for Minomone to be in, but it was really well played by Timbrhoggvandi. Minomone also played it really well. He just he got hurt too early. His early game didn't do as well as it needed to, and this is a ton of Manganai, and there's not enough military right now for him to deal with that number of units there, and yet there he calls the game. Yeah, GG. It was really well played. I think Timbrhoggvandi, he took his advantages early. That scout rush did a lot of damage, and he just built upon it. And unfortunately, the Slav player couldn't get into any knights to do any type of raiding himself. I'm pretty sure Minomone's scout was the only thing to actually go forward for him in this game, and the eco behind it was just clean. 148 villagers for Timbrhoggvandi compared to the 85 currently for Minomone, and Minomone had to keep producing villagers most of the game there. So GG guys, we're going to address some audio issues here, and then we're going to be moving on to game number 2 here in the finals. Alright, Hitch, you still around? See if we can fix the audio right here. Weasel, this is a best of 5. GG as well. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if I can get Hitch back in here real quick. Hello! Alright, so I can hear you just fine. Let me see if chat can hear you at all. So I really haven't changed anything. We're having a little bit of audio issues there, so we had to restart the stream, hence the break here. We're gonna switch back over and continue forward. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, here we go. In game 2, we're gonna have Minomone versus Timbrhoggvandi on 4 lakes, which is gonna be an interesting matchup. We did see this last night. It did go fairly well for Minomone. So we'll see what he has going for him now. Minomone, he went Japanese pick again, so I'd expect to see him go for the water play. And I think that's the right play on this map. I really like it. It looks, there's so many fish here to gather. I mean, why not? And with Japanese, they have a really good civ anyways. So you can't complain about that either. On the other side, Timbrhoggvandi's gone with the Persians, which is another solid pick. He doesn't build his house here. He's missing a few hits with the hammer from the villager, unfortunately, but not going to affect him just yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see what everyone does here on either side. I mean, Minomone, since he played this map, and we've seen him play this map, I would expect to see him go for the 2 pawns on his side and probably try to sneak over to at least one of the pawns, if not both, for this one. Yeah, Timbrhoggvandi is about to find out that this house is not completed here. It's missing 5%. He's about to be housed here as soon as this villager pops out. Both players are going to have to get pretty good scouting on this map and hopefully get themselves into a good position to take these pawns. So many resources there. You get one pond, you produce enough fishing ships in that one pond, you don't have to build farms for quite some time. You get 2 ponds, you're in even better shape. In late game, fishing traps will work just as well as the fishing. Malay have not been used in this map. I don't think everyone relies too heavily on the fishing in that case, with their infinite fishing traps. But it isn't a bad expense if you are going to get a few pawns, and it is just a 1v1 here, so we'll have to see how this goes. I mean, this is the first time in a while I've seen Timbrhoggvandi play without a Cav Archer Civ, but he is most likely going to go into the Knight line, which I think is a really good move for the Persians, and we may even see him go into, some sort of trash bow later in the game if he thinks it's necessary. On the other side, Japanese obviously have the really good fishing. Arbalests are good. They do have good infantry, one of the best infantries in the game. So I would hope to see a drush from Minomone here, and him try to press his advantages that way. But you never know exactly what you're going to see there. So we're going to continue over here with Timbrhoggvandi as he goes out to a pond right now. And on the other side, you got the same thing coming up for Minomone. So both players are going to prioritize at least one pond to start, hopefully getting a few fishing ships out as early as possible. And yeah, it looks like we're going to have a good number of villagers on wood for both players. Timbrhoggvandi actually has 2 more, but villagers are tasked to go directly out there from the town center, and that is always good. In this map, you need the wood to build farms earlier. I would also like to see, some good scouting from both players. Right now, Timbrhoggvandi, he's scouted his base, he's seen all of his resources, he's found his pawn, he's found the secondary pawn. Even though they're not hard to find, it's good to at least have a spot out there so you can just click a villager over there and have him go in that direction immediately. And then for Minomone on the other side, his scouting is also pretty similar as to he's already found this pond, he's scouting out this direction, so he's already found pretty much all of his resources, and most maps are looking pretty good. I mean, it's really open for Minomone here. I mean, he does have this nice little long wood line, but if there's any sort of archer play or even towers that come in behind this, he'll lose most, if not all, of that wood line. Ostriches in the back here, not exactly ideal, but he will have safe gold, safe stone, relatively decent to protect his main gold as well. The walls are coming up already for Minomone on this side, so I don't mind this play, but we'll see how it goes for him walling up right there. On the opposite side, we have Timbrhoggvandi already in this pond with 3 fishing ships, and we'll check fishing ship numbers as the game goes. They are currently equal. Timbrhoggvandi is actually producing more at this moment as compared to Minomone, who is not. But I do like Timbrhoggvandi's map slightly better here. He has 1 forward stone, but the rest of his golds here are relatively safe. 1 stone relatively safe. Wood line is in a much better position there. Both players are going to have a hard time walling this, though. A lot of the wood lines are, spread away from their base, so we're going to have to see both players expand and try to get as much map control as they could possibly find. That villager has loom, so Minomone is not going to get the pick. He smartly pulls back and keeps his scout alive so he can get his additional scouting information in. Up to 5 fishing ships here, only 3 on the side, well now 4 on the side for Minomone, so Timbrhoggvandi's eco seems to be a little bit cleaner on that aspect, but Minomone is +1 villager at this moment. So things are going to continue to move towards a very heavy fish presence, I believe. Barracks is coming up. No Drush coming in. May see Man-at-Arms at some point in time, but most likely he's just going to build this and then drop a stable or archery range, depending on what he wants to go with. And last night, we did see the Knights from Japanese for Minomone, or the night before, and they did a decent job. He had map presence. He took 3 pawns in that game, so things were going quite well for him there. Really good fishing numbers for both. I mean, one more for Timbrhoggvandi, but all in all, he's getting his stable up. I would expect to see some sort of scout play from him. I'm very curious as to when someone else goes out for another pond. I'm definitely looking for it. I definitely want to see it. I thought this scout was a villager coming out here to dock that already. These ponds are very worth the effort. I mean, we could even see fight over 1 or 2 of them, and I think it would be the right move. And actually, Minomone is headed out to this one right now. So like he is going to go ahead and put another dock up here. Potentially, he's forgot about that villager at this moment, but nonetheless, it looks like he's going to head in that direction. Weasel, prediction, the aggressor wins since the map's so open. I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. We are seeing archery range coming up already for Minomone, so potentially just going to try to boom here and move forward. He does have Man-at-Arms pushed forward. Man-at-Arms Japanese attack 25% faster, and you're going to need scout numbers here. Can't just take it on with these few scouts here. Weak villager going out, and looks like Timbrhoggvandi will go ahead and lose a villager there. So he sent out one with such low HP. He's lost some HP on those scouts as well. Minomone sending these units in, and he could potentially get another Vil pick here on the wood line. Timbrhoggvandi is trying to react as quickly as possible. Scouts are headed in that direction, but looks like he might get one more villager. He did end up getting the scout, which isn't bad as well. I mean, he's going to do good to buy himself some time with this. He did take out 1 villager, so the value was definitely paid for itself here. And I think that, it was a good move. Japanese man-at-arm early is always a fine idea. Doc comes up in the second pond over here for Minomone, who is extremely heavy on fish now. 10 fishing ships to the 9 over here for Timbrhoggvandi. The scouts are going to be coming forward. We are going to have double archery range and blacksmiths come down with defensive spears already prepared for this scout play. So Minomone has already adapted himself to what he thought was going to come forward anyways. And we are going to see archer production start for the Japanese player. I really like that play. Fishing ships are coming out of here. Houses are starting to come down on this pond for vision, no doubt. And, that's what you want to do here. You want to try to get as much vision as possible. You want to try to prevent this pond from being taken. I would even say get a galley out here, patrol the shoreline, build some more houses, try to wall it up as best you can. We do have scouts coming forward. Got 5 scouts forward right now. There are 3 spears here. There are a few archers already produced. So I'm not sure this is going to get a whole lot done for Timbrhoggvandi, except for prevent this from being walled up on this side, which he went for big walls yet again. And I don't mind this play at this point. I mean, with this map especially, how open everything was, I think that things are, in good shape here. The problem is there's going to be a hole in this wood line before too long, since it is so thin, and he's going to need to address this forward as quickly as he can here. Oh, we see a villager going forward for Minomone. He's going to head for the pond, the main pond for Timbrhoggvandi. That could be a really big thing to watch for here. A huge investment again here, as we've got Minomone's about ready to click up, and Timbrhoggvandi is going to be quite a bit behind. Hasn't accomplished a ton with these scouts that he's produced here, and he's not producing a whole lot of fishing ships. He's up to 8 here, hasn't even docked at this pond, whereas we have, 12 fishing ships over here, 13 over here, Another 2 over here. And where's that villager at? Well, she's sitting here. This fishing ship is just hanging out right here. Is it fishing? I think that was a scout right there. Nonetheless, these scouts are probably going to get into this wood line. Yeah, there's a hole there. This is not a good position for Minomone to be in right now. And oh, he's going to lose so many villagers right now. He is fighting with villagers against scouts again, which is hard to watch. A lot of villagers go down there. But honestly, Minomone is on his way up to Castle Age. He is going to start getting some units out here. He's going to get some more value. Oh, the dock is up. The dock is up over here. It's going to be a rough position for Timbrhoggvandi to find himself in right here. He could potentially lose his one and only pond. Hasn't gone out to that one yet. And the archers are forward for Minomone. So Minomone not only got a dock up, he got 7 archers in over here to Timbrhoggvandi's base. So yes, he did lose a little bit of villager count on this side. That lumber camp is terribly placed, but you do what you do. Fire galleys are going to come out and start cleaning up the fishing over here. Scouts are coming back to try to address the archers here, and he'll have the numbers to address those. Production so close. But those archers, they did their job. They came forward. They idled a bunch of eco here for Timbrhoggvandi. This is huge right here. I don't even think Timbrhoggvandi has seen it until just recently, because I just saw him click into some fire galleys. So fishing numbers are going to slowly go down here for at least the time being. Scouts aren't accomplishing a whole lot right now. This pond is free. He's already got his main pond over there. Another hole here. More archers coming forward. I would expect to see even more archer pressure as the game continues. 2 fire galleys out already. Only going to see the first one popping out here for Timbrhoggvandi, but fishing ship numbers are going to go down here relatively quickly. Scouts are cleaned up in the front here from Minomone. He really needs to get into crossbow, which he already has clicked on. It should be clicking in here anytime. And then he's in a really good position here. These crossbows are really, really doing well forward. It's going to do a lot of damage here. Another stable comes up in the back. Fishing ships are going down. We do have, we have numbers coming out for Minomone here. This pond is being really contested right now. Very rough town center position here. Crossbow was clicked behind archer, so it's just now being researched. Villagers are going to start to go down to this, though. He set them here, hopefully on stand ground, in a really good position. He can deny this town center from even going down at this point, which is really good. And he's going to get this pond. He's going to clean up the military that Timbrhoggvandi had there. Cleaned up all but 2 fishing ships that are now idle. He has, 5 fishing ships here. Another 12, 13, 14 over here. Yeah. Denied a town center. Timbrhoggvandi's in a really bad position. Yes, he is producing knights. And yes, Persians do get that bonus against archers. But behind this, even more numbers being produced. He's pressuring really well here. He's not on stone, really. 4 on stone. See how much stone he has. 280, so he's looking to potentially get a castle up before too long. And, I mean, he's going to have to try to secure something. I think he tries to secure the middle of the map here, even though it doesn't protect anything but maybe some wood lines. He will have the hill here. Don't think a forward castle is going to do him any good at this point. Knights only have +1 right now, so they're actually going to have, a decent exchange for those crossbows. Obviously, the crossbows are outnumbered, and the HP difference is going to make them evaporate, but all in all, that was a really good job. He defended his own base there, but at the same time, that was really delayed. Villager count 59 to 44 now in favor of Minomone. More crossbows were coming forward with some spears and 1 skirmisher, which I assume was a misclick. Thumb ring is going to be coming in here. It is behind 1 crossbow, but that's going to be a big upgrade. And again, the fishing numbers are super in favor of Timbrhoggvandi, which I think that's how you win this map. I don't think there's another way to play it. Where am I from, Inception? I am from Ohio. Forward villager built a ton of houses. Sees a gold over here too. Counterattack comes in. Lots of knights in here. Military is coming back for Minomone. A lot of villagers are going to go down here. Villager count actually is becoming more equal by the second here, which really is not good for Minomone, but he still has all of these pawns. There's only one pawn on the map he doesn't have, and it is not even contested right now. No one has it, so I still think that Minomone is in a really good position, and this is his game to lose at this point. Minomone is from Canada. Alright, this dock, he's not even gonna contest the water anymore. He's shifting into farm eco, which is going to be more difficult to hold on to. Knights are going down here for Timbrhoggvandi. More knights not doing anything. Town center is going to go up, so we'll have a second town center. Minomone isn't as far ahead as he would like to be right now with this, but I mean, he's not going to be in a bad position here. He's going to have another town center up to protect himself. Knight numbers are going down here. A few more coming in, but you know, he's just going to do the little base trade. He can get some more pikes out here. He's got town centers out. He's got all these pawns, adding even more fish to this one. This one doesn't not really worth adding fish, but he is about to take his opponent off water completely, and we do have a 4-pond advantage. Is going to be these knights. They're taking a bad fight again. They're gonna be dead here in a second. Yeah, Minomone's cleaned up his base. He has a very good forward coming. I don't like this taking hits from the town center here, but he's really forced his advantage here, and I think at this point you drop a forward castle. I think you try to drop it right here. You have military numbers. You have a 4-pond advantage now. You're building houses all over the map just for vision at this point. Knights are going to sneak in here. They are going to get some more Vil kills. So Timbrhoggvandi's Vil count is not as far behind as one might think at this point because of his excellent rating. Siege Workshop, I'm guessing Minomone is just going to try to go to Imp, and rather than build a castle, he's just going to get that up right now. Mother Knight going to stream in here. That's not ideal. These 2 knights are going to go down for free, basically. More villagers are getting hit here. Looks like he will save that one villager. That knight's going to lose some more HP. At this point, Timbrhoggvandi is just trying to keep some pressure on. Trying to do everything he can do here. That pond is now all Minomone's. So Timbrhoggvandi has nothing on water anywhere he looks. He is carelessly losing some units here, but I mean, he is also just clicked Imp, and Timbrhoggvandi is nowhere near Imp. He's a lot more behind in the eco. So Imperial Age coming in. We'll see Arbalest, I think, for sure, as long as these numbers don't go down, and I don't expect them to at this point. I mean, the Knights are definitely a concern for Minomone. He's had a lot of trouble dealing with this, but Timbrhoggvandi, he does have the villager lead here, but he also has a lot of idle villagers right now. Town centers, this is going to hit a lot of vills here. Pushing him off of his gold here. He's only on his main gold now. He's almost taken all of this one though. But at the same time, you know, these units are just going to keep circling around, keep causing issues. You have tons and tons of food eco. Town center coming up on that wood line. That'll be nice for him. I think he's going to need to go get some more stone and get a defensive castle maybe at this point, if he's not looking for have a forward one. More villagers falling here for Timbrhoggvandi. More knights going down. He still only has 2+1. He needs to get the other armor upgrade for his units at this point. Fishing has started for the Japanese player. Minomone is got a fire ship up here. He has tons of free food still. He's only built 3 farms. He's not even taking those farms. I think he built them just to get people in there as best that he could. He's still producing villagers. He is on the short side of villagers right now. He only has 55 villagers, but he actually has 78 villagers because of the fishing ships. Whereas on the opposite side, Timbrhoggvandi, he's got 79 villagers. He has no fishing ships. Military is going to go down here, which is really not great. He really just lost a ton of military here to be advancing to Imperial Age. Nonetheless, he's still going to have a good advantage, as he should have numbers producing at home. which he does. And his food, he doesn't even need the food. At this point, Minomone is hopefully selling food. He doesn't need them. He is getting a stable up over here. But at this point, I mean, fishing ships are coming up. This pond completely cleared out. Still a bunch of fish in this one. Still some fish here for him. Fishing in the other one. More crossbows will go down here, but the cost has been pretty great at this point. Arbalest is in now. Gonna get a good ball of Arbalest here, I would imagine. Get some halberdier pikemen in the front. Villagers are going to come forward, so I would expect to see a forward castle here. Or some forward production buildings, maybe some forward siege workshops. Knights are going to keep flooding in here. I mean, this is just a gigantic hole here. So that's not going to be that ideal, but at this point, most of the villager eco is safe, considering it's all on pawns that are not contested by anything right now. This is a pretty forward castle, and he's got nothing protecting it. He's sending military back again. At this point, just garrison those villagers and send your new military in that direction. If he thinks better of it, sends them back, and sends them back at a really good time, because here come the knights. Stable on top here, maybe some light cav going to be coming in on this side as well. These are in. Castle is going to go up. Those knights didn't see it. They're not going to deny it. Knights are going to get a lot of value here. Timbrhoggvandi still has 19 idle vills, though. Look at his eco. It is not pretty. Forward castle, going to put on some pressure, going to prevent him from taking that stone or the rest of his berries, which he still hasn't taken right now. Lots of knights here. I mean, they're just going to die to town center fire. Halberdier upgrade needs to come in here. But I think we're just going to see a nice push here in the middle from Minomone, and I think that's the right play. He's got the game in pretty good control. It would be nice to see him clean up his home eco here. But again, I mean, he's on wood, he's on gold, he's on stone, and you know what's on water is a whole bunch of fish. He hasn't even started producing fishing ships on that pond. That's how confident he is right now. Don't leave your treb alone. Don't leave your treb alone. Oh no. That's a lot of pikemen for those knights to deal with. They're not going to do very well against them there. He really needs to get some units to protect these units here and these villagers here. The arbalests are going to be here, but there's 2 trebs that are exposed. He does have the second armor upgrade here now, so he has 2+2. But those trebs are going to be wasted. Quite a few knights are going to go down here, though, so that trade wasn't absolutely terrible, but it obviously wasn't ideal here moving forward. On this side, we do have the forward stable, but I haven't seen... here we go. Knights are in the eco now. I really like that play, actually. Why make it like cav if you can afford knights at this point? And Minomone's resources are really good. Timbrhoggvandi has more villagers, but, I mean, he has to invest more right now. He has to invest more. He needs to get to Imp. He's not going to get to Imp right now, as Minomone's already in Imp. Things are not looking good for Timbrhoggvandi at this point. Knights still flooding in, barracks coming up in the back, more trebuchets are going to be coming out of this castle. We see the war elephant coming in, the Persian war elephant. I respect the play, but at this point in the game, that is just not going to work out for you. It's just not. I mean, look at that beautiful elephant right there. Gotta love that elephant. That's expensive as can be, though. So expensive, you can't do anything about this. And, you know, Arbalest, Pikemen, Halberdier upgrade coming in, Knights coming in the back, Halberdier coming in the back. And yeah, the counters are all here. The trebs are going to keep coming out. Are we going to see Samurai this game, or is it just going to be called GG before it's over? That's what I want to know. Minomone could afford to get some more upgrades. Chemistry, ballistics. Would be a nice touch for him to add, but I mean, at this rate, I don't think he can lose now. He's pushing. All of his eco is forward. He's going to switch into total barracks play at this point. I don't even think he's going to create any more Arbalest. I think he's just using what he has. And the problem here is he might even lose Trebuchets again, and this time it could be 3. It could delay the game just that much more, which would be hard to see again. But, yeah, those Trebs are definitely going down. But he's focusing on villagers, he's not focusing on the Trebs, so they're stayed up a little bit longer than they probably should have. But nonetheless, those will all go down. So he's going to have to rebuild those again. At the same time, we have a tower up here, barracks and stables coming in. Villagers are going to go ahead and try to take this down. On this side, though, you know, the eco is just good, but the fishing eco has helped out so much. So little, because, oh my god, how did this survive? Oh, he didn't focus down the Trebs. He didn't focus them down as he should have. Units are coming out, yeah, and he knows. He's just going to call it. Timbrhoggvandi calls game number 2, and I think, you know, at this point, you're that far behind. You lost so much on water. I mean, up here, fishing ships did start to come in. When you only build, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 farms on a map, and you win a game like this, you know, can't complain. Can't complain at all. GG from both. Minomone comes back to grab up a win in game number 2, which is quite excellent there, and I'm very excited to see how this continues forward. This has been 2 good games, and it's going to be interesting here. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the statistics here. And that's really interesting to see the food eco at this point. The food eco here, yep. I mean, Timbrhoggvandi did have more food collected. However, a lot of the military that Minomone was producing was wood and gold dependent, and all that food was all almost completely on water. There was still even more food for him to take. So, GG from both players. There's the timeline, guys. We're going to update the scoreboard here, and we're going to have it 1-1 here. And we're going to go ahead and go into game number 3. Alright, guys. This is going to be a good one here. I'm excited to see this one. Game number 3 between Minomone and Timbrhoggvandi. Timbrhoggvandi selecting the map. We'll start with him, and it is Acropolis, and he has gone with Magyars yet again, so it's going to be another Cav Archer Civ for him, and it's also really good scouts. I think mobility is extremely important in this game here, and I think it's going to be a very good map for him. Obviously, Acropolis, if you guys aren't familiar, you can't build on any of this stone cliff-like area, which makes it very difficult to wall up your base. You do have a lot of resources, a lot of free res. There are additional ibex and rhinos in this case on this map, so both players are starting on this high raised area. I mean, both maps look pretty good. In this one, I mean, gold forward, stone forward, all res is pretty good. We got two piles of gold here near the pond with the lovely little box turtles in the middle. And we do have a stone way over here, gold spread out here, goldstone. Map's pretty decently generated for both players, if you ask me. The big issue, like I said, you're not going to be able to wall up your map here, and that is going to be a problem. Lumber camps in between these weird little wood lines. No one really likes to do that. And Minomone, by the way, he went Persians. So Persians are going to have really good options as well. I mean, we saw it the last game, but unfortunately we didn't see Timbrhoggvandi get enough together there to go for the trash bows. It could only go knights, never actually got to Imperial Age, lost all the water. So, interestingly, we have a difference here in how people are playing this. Timbrhoggvandi, he says, let's go forward, let's take a wood line that I can actually sit on for a very long time, rather than take all these little tiny wood lines up on his raised area. And the opposite side, though, Minomone has selected his options to go up here and collect these trees up here. So no matter how you do it, it's all wood, it's all resources. The issue is look how far you have to go here to get back to your town center, and as compared to here, you know, it's a little bit farther distance. Might play a factor if we see some scouts come out here from Timbrhoggvandi. We are going to pay close attention to his villager count and when he clicks up to the next age. We've been seeing a lot of like 18 or 20 pop up for him and turning that into a good scout rush, putting the pressure on Minomone. And, you know, scouts are something hard to deal with, especially if you have someone going up, you know, 2, 3 villager pop ahead of you and are still able to produce. And there is a lot of food. A lot of food available. You have water buffalo here, 150 food per. You have a bunch of rhinos. You got ibex. You have your traditional berries. And then you also have additional rhinos. You have additional ibex for both players on both sides. Also some alligators in this one. This will go back. Did I miss this? Minomone may have let that rhino go back slightly. But nonetheless, he is going to try to bring it in this time. He is shift clicked. I just saw that. So he is not auto scouting. Scout comes in. Oh, he's going to grab water buffalo. Just passing. Nope, just kidding. He's going to micro himself out of that one. Well played. So as far as scouting goes, we're going to go into Minomone's view lock here and look at his map. So right now, he's only scouted his upper area. It's on top of his hill. He's seen his res. He sees what's out there. That's why he hasn't gone, you know, too crazy with any forwards for lumber or anything like that. I like this though. He's playing it safe. He's using the resources that he has around him. Can't fault him for that one. And, you know, he's doing what he can do with his resources up top first, and he's going to try to look to spread out later. On the opposite side, Minomone, well, or not Minomone, Timbrhoggvandi, he's moving around. He's scouted his top hill area. He's also using his hotkeys very well, bouncing around to what is going on, going back and forth as a scout. So he is not scouting quite as actively because he's not shift clicking right now, but he does have it, you know, he does know his opponent is. He is bouncing back and forth. He is going to be, you know, getting a lot of food in right now, and, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see when he clicks up here. Both players have Loom coming in. Timbrhoggvandi clicks immediately, and Minomone, his is right behind Loom as well. So both players within 10% of each other on their way up. We do have a barracks coming in for Minomone, so he might be thinking about some sort of a drush, but I think more often than not it's just going to shift into scouts for Persians. And you see the same coming up on the other side of Timbrhoggvandi. So yeah, I would expect both players to go scouts here. It's going to be a fast game here, I think, with scouts. A lot of mobility, a lot of things to look at. We are seeing some very good little walls here on this forward wood line for Timbrhoggvandi. He expects probably scouts the same, and we'll hope to see the same from Minomone here at some point, or hope to see a lot of pressure from him to keep scouts away from his base. Neither player really trying to wall up much of anything on this side. Idleville's here, so that's not exactly ideal. Minomone kind of helped him out there by attacking that, actually. He made him realize that those ibex were not being hunted by his villagers. Ibex are still available here. I think I would have liked to see both players push their Ibex. However, Timbrhoggvandi's are close to the mill, so it's not as big of a deal as compared to the other side where his berries are over here, Ibex are on this side. But nonetheless, we do have Feudal Age, and we have a 2-villager build on a stable to get it up as quickly as possible. So if you guys don't know, Magyars get all free attack for Cav upgrades free per age. So they already have Blast Furnace, will already have the +1 attack moving into the Feudal Age. As soon as he got there, he got that upgrade for free. Here it is. So it's really going to come down to your eco and what it's sitting at this point. This villager, they're going to get that kill on that scout, which is not ideal, but, you know, it's not a big deal at this point. You've got your base scouted. You've got an idea of what you're going for here. You're going to start producing scouts. Both players have queued up 3 scouts per, but the addition to 1 scout here for Minomone, keeping his starting scout alive, may turn into a really nice advantage for him. We also have a spear coming out here for Minomone, so he's looking to play a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense. I'm not sure I really like that play. You're going to have consistent scout production, and if anything, I think you, yep, put down another stable. You try to get another stable down. You have the food right now to keep producing with both. These do have 1 plus additional attack here, because you see 3 plus 2 for the Persian player, but you 3 plus 3 here for the Magyar player. But they are outnumbered, you know, so it's going to be a pretty decent fight if they were to take it at this point. But at this time, they're not going to. Houses are going to come down for Minomone, for he's went and housed himself. On the other side here, for Timbrhoggvandi, he's just going to produce scouts from 1 stable at this point. So, both players producing scouts. Right now, it looks like Minomone's going to have an additional scout. He does have some spears, at least 1 spear out, defending his wood line right now. 2 scouts will dispatch that quite easily, but you do have 4, 5, 6 scouts already out for Timbrhoggvandi. He has scouted the additional range, or sorry, the additional stable here. Just double checking he has seen both. Nope, he actually has only seen 1, so he thinks that's the only one at this point. This is a pretty rough fight here to take if you are in Minomone's position, but he does get a 1-for-1 and does take some HP off of another one, so it's not terrible. As we have 4 scouts headed forward here, and yep, go ahead and finish your walls up. Is there a hole there? There's a hole there. He gets it up in time. Very well played. It got that quick wall up just in time as he noticed the hole there. Production for 2 ranges is going to be better. I think Minomone made a really good decision to do that there. Please attack villagers. There we go. Alright, so Timbrhoggvandi is up villager count-wise right now, but he is also going to lose 1 here. Might even lose a second. Nope, the second one does get saved, so he's still up by a few vills there, and oh no, these scouts are in. They found the wood line. Minomone says bug? He must feel there's a bug somewhere here. Not sure what happened there. I wasn't watching it, but it seems they've continued playing. I didn't hear anything about this. Villagers go down on the front for Minomone. All 3 of those there, at least. He was paying attention to this right here. Potentially this is what he's talking about. He can't move his scout. His scout is attacking. Thanks, D. His scout, it's in the house. He's attacking the house, I guess. Yes. He's in chat here. He's explained it. Oh, he can. It's being attacked by the villager, though. Interesting. I don't know how this is happening. Either way, on the opposite side, we have another good attack coming in for Timbrhoggvandi. The issue that we're going to see here for Minomone is moving forward into the next stage. He's going to go into knights, and he's going to have to face up against cab archers, most likely. I mean, you can go skirmishers for defense, but with the mobility, it's going to be difficult to protect what you've got. Scout production is still going like crazy, though, here for Minomone. Six scouts here. He had 1 stuck in the house, had another one back here. He sent so many forward. I mean, both players are continuing to produce scouts. I think Minomone's unfortunately just taken a few fights that weren't as good. He is continuing to keep his production up, which is really nice here. Yeah, second stable going to come down here now. Does he finally see that other stable? Nope, he doesn't know that it's there. He's just thinking he's really far behind in production, or guessing that they've already taken, and he just hasn't seen it. It was a pretty decent fight there. I mean, he does need to get that additional attack there. He really needs it there so he can be equal to, and then he would be winning these fights more convincingly at this point. But if you don't have the res to go for it, you don't want to, you know, you don't have to. So a lot of low HP scouts here with a lot of mixed HP scouts here, but we are going to see a pretty decent attack here. Villagers will go down for Timbrhoggvandi. House will be cancelled and deleted, and scouts are in Timbrhoggvandi's base. They're not out doing the damage that he wants to use them for, but again, I think the fight was better for Timbrhoggvandi. That additional attack is pretty huge, and you know, you can only do what you can do. More scouts coming forward, so this is going to be another interesting little scout fight here. I still think that Timbrhoggvandi gets the better of this deal. He's using the hill to his advantage. Yes, Minomone does have the defense. He has, you know, +1, 2+1, compared to no defense on this side, but I think the attack is going to be slightly more important. I've noticed a lot of this happens for Timbrhoggvandi. He clicks off his units and sends them out, and then they will stop here. Let's just click them elsewhere. A third stable coming down for Minomone. He is not messing around with this. He wants to go completely here. Yeah, Inception, he did have this tiny little hill right here. More scouts coming forward. More scouts in chase. 3 stable production coming up. Feudal, feudal, feudal. Yes, full feudal, Weasel. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be interesting to see the farm counts here. Got 21 here. So I'm missing some fights. 21 farms to 23 farms. 3 stable production to 2 stable production. Oh, not even going to attack. Loses a lot of HP and 1 scout there. More scouts coming forward for both players. 5 scouts are going to arrive here at Timbrhoggvandi's base, and those are going to do a lot of damage right now. These 2 scouts are probably going to do a little bit of damage here as well, but these 5 are going to take out quite a few villagers. And Minomone is cleaning things up right now. This is looking really good for him here. He is going to need to get some more units out here. He's going to have a bunch of them produced here. He's going to have bloodlines coming in behind this. Right now, I don't think either player have bloodlines. As soon as bloodline comes in, with these numbers that he's got right now, assuming he doesn't lose them, he's going to have a huge advantage. Even if he moves into Castle Age and gets light cav, it's going to be pretty massive. There's a hole here. There's got to be a hole, right? Kind of just base trading it up a little bit here and there. Villagers are going to be going down for both players here, although we do have a lot of scout numbers. We have 18 military units for Minomone, most of which, if not all, are scouts right now. We may have had a spear or 2, but right now the HP is in. More villagers going down for Timbrhoggvandi, and that attack isn't going to do you any good when you're outnumbered with that much HP. Cleaned up on this side. We do have some spears in the front here. We have a ton of scouts in Timbrhoggvandi's base. I would really like to see him come forward and hit this gold while he's running with the rest of his units over here. Villager counts are equal at the moment, but we have 20 idols or so for Timbrhoggvandi, and that is going to hurt him a lot at this point. Tons of scouts, still producing more scouts. I would like to see this waypoint forward here. Timbrhoggvandi does clean up some scouts here, as he now has the additional upgrades. Scouts going down everywhere. This is definitely a full feudal fight. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I don't think either player are going to stop production right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how things continue forward. Minomone is everywhere with these scouts. He's picking up villagers, making them idle all the time. And it's just not the same on the opposite side. Scouts are outnumbered here. There's definitely a hole in that wood line. I'd love to see him hit that one now. Timbrhoggvandi's trying to save his numbers. He's trying to get his numbers up so he can actually defend from this a little bit better. His scouts are spread in different places, though. He's trying to bring all of this together. But, my god, there are so many scouts in the field. And behind this, I think we're going to see Minomone actually click up beforehand. But I don't know. This is a lot. There's 11 scouts here for Timbrhoggvandi. And for Minomone, there are going to be a few less here, as he only has 8. But 5, 6 more coming in to join the fight. Hill is here. Numbers are going to come in behind this for Minomone. I think Minomone takes this fight right here, no question. Yep, and Timbrhoggvandi runs away. I'd really love to see this wood line hit right here. It would really, really hurt that time. Minomone has also clicked up to Castle Age, and that's going to be a lot of light cav, I think, coming in. Maybe he'll switch to knights, but I think the light cav upgrade is definitely worth it here. Although they are going to fight now. He needs to not take that. There we go. Run away from that hill. Don't let him have the hill advantage. 13 military for Timbrhoggvandi, 12 for Minomone. I think Minomone has 2 spears, so we've got 10 scouts out on the field for him, but he continues to produce more and more. But Timbrhoggvandi, he's nowhere near clicking up at this point. He even has cheaper scouts, so you'd think he'd be more ahead there, but he's just not. He has started getting some of his defense upgrades, but Minomones are the same now. Yep, so they both fully upgraded their scouts right now. More scouts coming forward, so, I mean, scouts are just going to keep coming forward. Going to take a few hits from the spear. Wood line's open. Is he going to hit the wood line? Nope, he's just going to pass on by, but he's going to swing back around here. More villagers should fall here as these scouts are out of position. The other scouts for Minomone have gone all the way around. Spears are starting to come out in defense here, but Castle Age is about to be struck. I would expect to see Light Cav here with all of these numbers, but we might see it switch into Knights after that. Yep, Light Cav upgrade is queued, but it is queued behind some Light Cavs, or behind some Scout production, and, you know, he might even cancel it at some point. We'll see. You have to wait and see how he goes here. There are so many scouts. This has been an insane feudal war. I'm very happy with how this one's going right now. Numbers are definitely going to be going down in villagers here if he doesn't take this fight in a good spot, and he's actually forced to take the fight now. He's probably going to lose all this. He does have a few spears in the mix. He is going to have the Light Cav upgrade come in, but his numbers have been depleted. Knights are now being queued up, and I think that's the right play. Villagers are going to go down here, and actually, it wasn't as bad as you might have thought it was going to be here for Timbrhoggvandi. As soon as that upgrade came in, that really helped him out here. Minomone has solidified a pretty good position. He's already up to Castle Age, with his opponent not going to be getting up as quickly, not even going to be getting up anytime soon. He's full age behind, and he's going to be behind on Castle Age military production. Knights, even some camels coming out here. Light Cav still running around, Spears still running around, military coming forward still, scouts all the way. He is going to snipe a good number of villagers here, which is actually going to hurt his eco a little bit more. Timbrhoggvandi does have the advantage here with eco, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to matter when you have camels and knights coming out on the opposite side. All those villagers aren't even going to go down. And he still has knights and spears in chase of all of these scout cavalier right here. Timbrhoggvandi, he does have a lot of gold. He might be able to buy his way up if he sells some stone at this point. But I think we need to see some town centers come down here, and we really need to see this villager count change in favor of Minomone to continue what he's doing. I mean, right now, obviously, Timbrhoggvandi, he's still producing scouts. He should probably stop producing scouts at this point. That's a lot of food just going into those, and he needs to get up. If he doesn't get up, he's going to lose just because his military is not going to be upgraded and not going to be Castle Age units. I mean, Light Cav have 80 HP as compared to the 65 HP of these scouts here in Feudal Age. And this, you know, they're just chasing. That town center is a good one. He should be going up. Minomone, look at this scout. Barely even touching that knight. But I think that Timbrhoggvandi thinks, you know, he's in need of military presence, or he's just going to get wiped. I mean, he just balanced his eco. He finally got to mark it up, balancing his eco. He should be going up here relatively soon, but there's going to be a lot of military on the field, and we are already going to see a 2-town center production here. We are seeing knights just sitting around over here now. We are going to see some sort of a forward here pretty soon. Here it comes. 2 knights, 2 camels. That's going to do a lot of damage. Garrison your town center minimum. There we go. At least save some villas while you can. This wood line will be slaughtered here. None of those villagers will escape with their lives. At the same time, more units going down in the back of this base for Minomone. Military units on the run. Villagers just dropping everywhere over here like flies. Castle Age is coming in for Timbrhoggvandi, but I don't know if he's going to have enough at this point. I think he's got a lot going for him here, but I think that there's too much military on the field, and it's so much better military. Even if he upgrades, he's only got, what, 5 scout cav on the field right now. More coming out, so maybe he's thinking Light Cav again, but the gold is getting rated again on this side over here. The KD is 98 to 69 for Minomone, which is quite nice for him. Still has not hit this wood line. I really wish he would have hit this wood line at some point, but he's confident just taking vills off farms under the town centers right now. Plenty of knights back here and camels to clean this up. 23 military to 8, and the 8 military consists of scouts and spears compared to camels and knights at this point. Just comfortably fighting under this town center right now, saying, get out of my game, I've won it. But Timbrhoggvandi is on his way up, so we might see him doing something here. We have 19 idols for both sides right now. Trade cart. Whoops. That was a mistake. A lot of military should be coming up here before too long. I would expect to see, yep, take out the stables. This is a good move. Take out his production buildings. Make it harder for him to produce units. You've got your advantage in military. Try to keep it. Doesn't take it out, though. It's going to head into this town center. You know what? He might just take out the town center. Wouldn't surprise me if he tries. Villagers are going down here. And yeah, he's just going to try to take out the town center right now. Which he's got 12 knights. 12 knights is a good number here. He probably will have a good shot at it with, camels coming forward, knights coming forward. Either way, yep, Timbrhoggvandi calls the GG, and what a game that was. Scouts everywhere. I don't think I've seen a feudal game like that in a long time. Whew. Wow. Ultimately, I think Minomone had those defensive upgrades early, as he pointed out in chat here, and I was ignoring the fact that he had them, and I think that won him a lot right there. I mean, whew, man. Getting up early definitely was a good key. He stopped producing at the right time and found his way up. Look at the KD, 128 to 73. Minomone takes game 3. Whew. What a game. Alright, let's look at the statistics here. I want a statistic that says how many scouts were produced in this game. Look at the food production. Look at that food. Holy crap. What a game, guys. I'm going to grab a quick drink, and then we're going to jump right into game 4. Alright guys, here we go. We have Hideout coming into game number 4. Timbrhoggvandi gets map choice since he lost the last game. He's going for Cumin, so we might see a 2 TC boom in Feudal, which would be really interesting. Celts on the other side for Minomone though, and I would expect to see a Fast Castle into some early siege at this point. That's what we've seen a lot in the tournament. I'm really excited about this one. This is game number 4 in a best of 5 between Minomone and Timbrhoggvandi in the Battlegrounds upper bracket finals. So this map, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't seen it, you start, kind of arena-like, but with palisade walls. Some res inside your base here, rest is outside. Shared wood in the middle. Most of the wood in the game is in the middle of the map. Sometimes occasionally seeing some siege hunter cuts down the middle right into the opponent's base. And then we see, always a very strange generation for relics here at this point. Oh, some chatter goes on here. Apparently they were practicing with each other, and Minomone was not expecting Cumin's pick out of Timbrhoggvandi. Alright, guys, so what do you think we're going to see here? Cumin's, you could go Fast Castle into some sort of, like, Pike capped ram push with Cumin's. Could do a 2 TC boom with Cumin's. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this is. Minimum points out that Timberhawk does like his Cav Civs, and yeah, I mean, we could see the Kipchuk at some point in time here. Either way, it's gonna be a pretty interesting one. The practice games were even before the round of 16. Wow, you guys are really putting in the work, huh? I mean, I couldn't be happier with how things have been going for this tournament. A lot of players have gotten some improvement in. They've gotten some new strategies down. It's been a really great tournament, in my opinion. I think it's gone well, and I hope to see it continue to go well for the rest of this final and the final for the lower bracket. Minomone, I don't know why you pushed all these deer and then just shot them all down, but, you know, at least you brought them in, at least you pushed them in.
Yeah.
So Celts in this tournament, we have seen a lot of forward Knights, Siege, and Monk play. It's going to be a very interesting one here. I mean, on either side, I'm interested to see how this goes. It's going to be a lot of interesting things, especially as soon as we get into the feudal age. Are we going to see that town center come down as quickly as possible for Timbrhoggvandi, or are we going to see something else entirely? Minimum strat here, I would assume, is, you know, siege and infantry, maybe a monk or two here or there, but with his being surprised by the Kuman pick, he may feel the necessary need to go forward as quickly as possible, and maybe even do some sort of a tower rush play or something like that to force his opponent's hand. It's going to be interesting to see what happens nonetheless. As far as maps go, Hideout's pretty even around the board. Most of your herdables, if not all your herdables now, spawn within your walls, so you don't have a risk of losing them. I don't believe there's any additional out here. It's just a few hostile animals. I mean, as far as the neutral gold goes in this game, both players, I mean, if you look at the mini map here, 2 golds on this screen, one of which is Minomone's main gold. The second, or the neutral gold is here, which is really close to his base. On the opposite side, we have a neutral gold here. It was his other third gold here and another neutral gold here. So both players getting neutral gold positions that are quite relevant, quite good for them, and very easy to maintain and wall up. The only difference on this that I'm seeing is we only have 1 3 tile here, but we have 2 3 tiles on this side, so there is some additional stone on that side. But all in all, looks pretty good. This is a pretty good map gen. I mean, Timbrhoggvandi got a little bit unfortunate with his relics, and as he only has 1 on his side of the map, Minomone has 4 on his. We're going to take a quick look at what they're seeing and while we watch their view lock. Minomone is focusing eco right now, and he is definitely going for what looks to be a fast castle play where he's at 25 pop already, more villagers in the queue, and he's going to get up to probably that 27, 28 pop before he goes up to fast castle. And on the other side, actually went up at 26 pop, which is still fine. He's shift clicking his scout to do some scouting, scout out his opponent's map. But on the other side, we have Timbrhoggvandi. He's also done a decent amount of scouting, pretty similar on both of their scoutings. But we are going to see a pretty quick feudal 20 pop up. I would definitely expect to see this town center come in here. And yep, he's going to put it down on the gold and on his wood line right there. He's going to go ahead and grab his farming upgrade, horse collar, and his double bit axe upgrade. We having a little scout fight here going on, and Timbrhoggvandi is going to win this. He might even take this scout out as he is going to run in here. And yep, Timbrhoggvandi's scout is now trapped. He won't get any more scouting in here. He will most likely get this scout kill. And now he's got a scout in the middle of the map here. Gonna harass villagers as much as possible. As his second town center is on its way up, he is producing more villagers at this time. And he's gonna, yep, he's gonna farm. He's already collected everything except for his deer here, which I think he should take the deer. It's free resources. Oh, is he going to get a Vil? He got a Vil. He even got a Vil. That's really well done here by Timbrhoggvandi to provoke that Vil kill out of the way. And all in all, because Minomone didn't get Loom, he was feeling too confident. He is blacksmithing and fast castling. He will definitely be up to castle, and it's going to be very close on villager count at this point. I mean, right now you are seeing a strategy that I don't think has been really worked out. There's not a like meta for it yet. Like there's a good meta for it. There's a good start to it, but with it being a new civ, I feel like we still have a lot to come from the Cumin civ, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. I'm really interested to see how Timbrhoggvandi can get this to work here. The scout is still alive. It's still provoking. It's still giving some problems. He did go ahead and grab Loom. He is on his way to Castle Age, clicking up just above 13 minutes time, which is really good here. Barracks is going to come down here. He's going to send this villager over. Scout finally goes down for Timbrhoggvandi, so that nuisance is out of his hair. But on the other side, we're already up 32 villagers to 26. We are getting some upgrades here. We are 35% of the way to Castle Age at the same time. So I would really expect to see a decent little boom here. He knows he has to get up. I don't even know if we'll see the forward siege right off the bat. I think it would be a fine position, but at the same time, he has stopped scouting. He's lost his scout. He doesn't know where this town center is going to be. He sees a decent bit of the map, but it's not exactly what you want to see if you're going to try to go for a forward. You know that your opponent went up really early. You know he's got the Vil lead. So I think at this point, Minomone's best chance to survive this game is to just go ahead and put down a second and third town center and boom as much as possible. And honestly, knowing his opponent's love for Cav civs and Cav archer civs, Timbrhoggvandi is probably going to see some walls. It would make sense, I think, to wall up as best you can. Wall up your map. Minomone, wall up your map. Maybe protect yourself. Maybe go forward, put pressure on, and get a town center or two up. I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation at this point. We are going to see something coming in up here pretty soon. We do have Bowsaw coming in. We do have constant villager production from both town centers here. We do see some house walls coming up on the side here. Minomone has housed himself, unfortunately. He is getting his second town center up. His villagers are moving forward with a spear. Expect to see a monk siege push with some either infantry or some cavalry involved at this point. Interesting though, whenever I play Hideout, I always see people walling up their map. I mean, these players are a little bit higher in the rankings than I am. I think they're around 1300 to 1400-ish now. When we started the tournament, 1300 was the cutoff, but that was like 3 months ago when we started getting all these things in, 2 months ago when we finally decided when everything was settled and started playing games. So, players are definitely improving, they're definitely working on these strategies. And I think it's really come down to people having more of a reason to play different strategies. I've seen some strategies not go so well. I've seen a siege ram push just completely fail. But, you know, I like what players are doing right now. They're really trying to press their luck on some of these situations. Like Timbrhoggvandi, I think this was a strat that he had prepared, though. He is putting down double stables right now. It's going to be very interesting to see what he tries to do with that. Timbrhoggvandi, does he see that siege workshop come up? He does not see it yet. It's one tile out of reach for him, or 2 tiles at this point. So I would definitely expect to see some mangonels coming out of here. And yep, here comes the barracks. Rams are forward. He has seen these 2 barracks here. Behind this, he is at 2 town centers. He is booming. He is behind by 20 villagers. And Minomone is going to be pretty far behind still when it comes to Castle Age. He is going to have a mangonel. He is going to have some spears out. I think we definitely need to see. Yep, there's the pikeman upgrade coming in right now. We've got a mangonel about to come out. I think we're going to have to see some monks to help protect. I mean, we do see 3 stable production coming up for Timbrhoggvandi here. He's gonna go ahead and drop down a market now. He hasn't put one down yet, but he has 2 town centers that have been producing non-stop. He is on his way to Castle Age. He is going to go ahead and take this barracks out first, rather than focus on the stable. Behind this are going to come some house walls to slow this push down. Another Mangonel will be on its way out with more pikemen. But the villager count's still going to be pretty far off, as Timbrhoggvandi can still produce 1 villager at 1 town center and be researching this on the other. He did just kill a few of his own spears, or at least one of his own spears there. And he has shifted and started to take down the stable, and he's actually, it looks like he might even be attack grounding because he's hitting both of these buildings. And he's going to kill another one of his own spears here, which is unfortunate. Villager counts are 61 to 45. Minomone has been in castle longer, but the 2 feudal town centers are paying off as far as village count goes. This stable might produce 1 knight, and that's about all it's going to get done, but 2 knights will come out. There are quite a few barracks here now, quite a few mangonels out, and yeah, there comes a knight. We're going to see some knights, another stable coming up here for Timbrhoggvandi. I think that he needs to get his numbers up as quickly as possible, but putting these forward stables is not going to be the answer, I don't think. He's getting them taken out really quickly. A 3rd mangonel going to come out. More pikemen are coming out over here as well. And right now, it's just about this push. Really is a 3rd town center coming out. I really don't know if I like that town center position, but I feel like he doesn't want to push out at this time, and he can't really build it over here. So we do have 5 knights, 6 knights out here now, and we're gonna see some mangonels go down here, it looks like, for sure. No questions, at least 1, probably 2, and we only saw 1 knight go down thus far. So Timbrhoggvandi, not only does he have the villager advantage, but he's going to have a really good military advantage moving forward, and he's going to have a lot of production coming out of these 2 stables. It's going to be very interesting to see who pushes where. I mean, is Timbrhoggvandi going to sit back over here, or is he going to try to push all the way around? I mean, he could go over here, get in. It could be lethal at this point. Lots of villagers here that could go down as well, that are chopping wood and also just building some houses up. Pikemen are going in here. Pikemen aren't going to get a whole lot of done. Maybe he's just trying to get a little bit of scouting info, see what's going on over here. But these knight numbers are in pretty good number here, and they're going to go ahead and run around. They might even find these villagers. If they get around to this side, yep, he's producing pikemen in his barracks already. It's really not a good position that you want to find yourself in at this point. He is still behind by 20 villas. The vill production has continued to come out for Timbrhoggvandi. He's even abandoned pushing over here. At this point, he can't afford to push and defend at the same time. Only 2 spears back here. His spears are behind over here. Gonna, take out some reinforcements on their way in, but these knights get in, it's gonna be trouble. You have some town centers to sit under. He's gonna try to block that with a barracks. He's going to get these pike numbers up as best he can at home. Might get a vill or 2 here. Knights are going to be in over here. Did not block that hole up with that barracks. Did get through that 1 whole gap, and villagers are going to go down. Unfortunately, I think the Cumin 2 TC boom has really paid off here. I think that Minomone is in a lot of trouble. I liked his position early, but I think it would have been better to have a monastery and a barracks up here. I mean, he is getting another mangonel out, but as soon as a knight pops out of here, that mangonel is dead. Villagers are very idle right now. We've got 30 villagers idle for Minomone. We had up to like 13 here for Timbrhoggvandi, but he was just dealing with the pikemen on this side. I mean, this fort is going to get cleaned up. There are a lot of pikemen here. These knights are not accomplishing as much as one would hope. They did idle the eco. Still 4 idle here, and, a good... I mean, all of his idle fields are just sitting in town centers, which is unfortunate right now. And there's a forward town center there. I mean, he is going to clean this up in his own base right now. He is getting himself onto stone, so we might see a nice defensive castle in his base. We'll see what happens here. I mean, he's not in a bad position by any means. I mean, he is behind heavily on the villager count, but I think it's just because he was really trying to press a military advantage, which I actually don't mind in this situation. You try to press it, you try to press what you can, you try to keep that military back, buy yourself more time, get your town centers up, get your units in. This town center, well, he's attacking the gate instead. That's not exactly what you want to do there, but there's just quite a few pike numbers. If he gets some mangonels out, I'm not sure what the knight numbers look like right now for Timbrhoggvandi, but yeah, they're not that great on this side. So, I mean, he's still holding out for his own. He's up to 4 town centers right now. And actually, he's up to 5 town centers. So if he booms like a madman, right now he's only producing 2 of his town centers right now, which is not exactly ideal. I think you need to go into a pikeman ram push at this point. I don't know. It's gonna be rough. I mean, Timbrhoggvandi, his resources not exactly where they are gonna need to be to go to Imp. As Minomone, he's got a ton of gold, but not a lot of food, and knights are still harassing him everywhere. So, I mean, he's done a good job. He tried to do a forward. He did a good job with the forward. It's going to do a decent amount of damage. I mean, it did force a lot of time for defense here, but what are we going to see come up here? These villagers, unfortunately, are all going to go down here for Minomone, for he's too busy elsewhere. Knight's going down over here. Some more idols. I think he's just idled he's idled his town centers too much. Pikemans roll in under this town center. I mean, you don't want to fight under a town center with pikes, but if you're feeling that desperate and need to create idle time, I guess you go for it. We do see Kipchucks coming out of this castle. Kipchucks, knights, and you know, a 29 villager lead, even though Timbrhoggvandi has 41 idols, only because he has pikemen going through his base. I think that we're gonna see a pretty quick GG after these Kipchuck numbers get up. He's just fighting these with vills. Why send my Kipchucks and give away my strategy, I guess. A lot of idols for Timbrhoggvandi, though. He's still sitting at 33 idols, so his villager lead is completely negated at this point until he starts to use his bonus there. We're gonna see, you know, he's gonna have to fix that. I mean, he's really hurting himself. 35 idols, a lot of them in the town center, and just hanging out by these farms. But the Kipchuck numbers are starting to come out. They're gonna be doing a lot of damage. Knight's still sitting over here. Archery range is coming up for skirmishers, no doubt. But this is gonna be a lot of Kipchuck numbers. They don't really have any upgrades yet. The upgrades will come. And they might not even have to come at this point. I mean, there's nothing forward here. There's one forward town center, a couple barracks producing pikemen, which Kipchuck will shred even without upgrades. Some knights still available, but I think he's shifting completely into Kipchucks. He's also putting even more town centers out here. He's going to a 5th town center over here. Kipchucks are just going to sit right here. Siege Workshop coming out. The forward will be cleaned up over here. Kipchucks will just be sitting in the back from behind. Knights still available over here. The score difference is almost at 1,000, just about 800 now, 900. Forward castle right next to Siege Workshop and 2 barracks coming for Timbrhoggvandi, as well as near this town center. So this whole area here in the middle is going to be, this whole forward's going to get cleaned up here. This castle definitely going to go up. I don't see anything going to be coming out here. I mean, we're going to see rams even coming out for Timbrhoggvandi here. Get a battering ram out. He's going to clean up this entire forward. He's going to have a huge villager lead. He still has 14 idols. He really needs to shift through his idols and put them to work. Send them all to wood or something. Get whatever you can. He's also housed at the moment, but that castle will relieve him of that problem. All these forwards are going down. Imperial Age is coming in a little bit faster here for Minomone, but I mean, he has no military now. 9 military, all pikemen. You got Kipchucks and rams coming forward. That composition is not going to be dealt with well with just pikemen. Would love to see some upgrades come in for these Kipchucks. I mean, it looks like he did get fletching, which is good. But he needs to get some more upgrades on these. But he's got, 15 of them already over here alone. He's still got more producing out of only 2 castles now. So units production is going to be really good for those. A very good castle coming up for Minomone on this hill here. But it could be denied at any moment. You just have to wait and see. That one might go up though, because a lot of idle military. Oh, but as I say that, here come those Kipchucks. Are they shift click down here? No. Is he patrolling? He's not patrolling. He's running though. Minomone is running. He doesn't want to lose the vills. Yep, and Timbrhoggvandi does spot it. Those villagers will go down. There's going to be a good exchange here for Minomone though, if Minomone stays there. But 1 villager down, 2 villagers, all 3 villagers go down right there. No questions asked. These pikemen are going to get a lot of damage in here, but all of them are going to die nonetheless. Still have those knights forward that just denied a mining camp and killed a few villagers as well. On this side, villagers were coming forward for Minomone, most likely trying to get another forward over there and get something done. But that will get denied. Another forward castle on this side. Castle coming up over here for Timbrhoggvandi. I think that the upgrades are coming in now for Timbrhoggvandi. I mean, currently these skirmishers are really good, but he doesn't have the numbers on them here at all. What's going on the right side? Let's see, we've got a castle up coming here. This castle's up a bunch of stables though. 5 stables on this side, so expect to see some knights pushing on this side. Over here, just eco booming. A few knights forward. Castle over here denied. Timbrhoggvandi says, I'll take that castle position. And all in all, it's looking like a snowball situation here. The Kuman Boom has done the job. The Light Cav, the Light Cav are going to deny this castle. The Light Cav will deny this castle. That hurts right there. Castle denied. Light Cav will flood around this side of the map. Kipchucks will be just sitting over here, attacking whatever they want to. Over here, another castle on the archery ranges forward. More stable, so we're going to see Kipchuk, Light Cav. Very unfortunate here. This castle, 92% of the way built. Even deleting it, you're going to lose 92% of the stone it costs to build one. I think we're going to see a game 5, guys. No questions asked here. Hell of a play here. Kipchucks for the win. Kuman 2 Town Center Feudal for the win. I really would love to see some more upgrades on these Kipchucks, but is what it is. Interception, I apologize, but you have been timed out for 26 constant messages. I'm guessing you were doing emotes, and you're trying to spam some emotes. Yeah, bad bot. Yeah, but this game is gonna be over here. Minomone has done a really good job staying in it. He really tried to get his boom back up. He really did do a good job of getting his villager count up, but unfortunately the momentum swing just was too much to deal with, and Kipchucks are insane when you get them in numbers, and if he had more upgrades, they would be even longer. You were timed out for 5 seconds there, Inception, that's all. Yeah, this castle's just gonna go down. No reason to apologize, man. I appreciate you wanting to spam some hype in the chat, but Nightbot says no go because I have not changed that from the default. I'm pretty sure that's the default. But yeah, I think Minomone's just taking his time, taking a step back. He's just gonna sit on this one and be, be happy that he's gonna be in a game 5 of finals. He played well in this one. He will have the final map selection going into the final game. All these villagers are going to be spotted by so many Hussar coming in here. And, I mean, once these Hussar get here, I think we're definitely going to see the GG called. A bunch of pikes are over here, but, I mean, they're just going to go down here. GG comes in as soon as all these Hussars show up. and we are on to game number 5 in the Battlegrounds upper bracket finals, guys. That was a hell of a game. Mega Random was not a part of the map pool, guys. Sorry. Alright, 2-2 going into game number 5. What map do you want to see? Minomone is here in chat, and he wants to know what map you guys want to see. Other than Mega Random, what else do you guys want to see? The map pool is in the Discord if you weren't paying attention there. And we're going to switch over to game number 5 to see who wins this one. And I will be right back after grabbing a drink, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. Just a quick sip of water. We are loading into Game 5 between Minomone and Timbrhoggvandi for the Battlegrounds upper bracket finale. And guys, this has yet to happen in the tournament. This is a first right here. We have Yucatan. First time seeing Yucatan in the map. And we see a mirror matchup for Britons here. Oh my goodness. Guys, a mirror matchup on this map. This is going to be interesting. So if you guys haven't seen Yucatan, it's a crazy map where you have so much food, it's not even funny. You've got a little bit of shore fish, not much, but you've got tons of boar, tons of deer, tons of turkeys, tons of herdables. It's insane. We also have a decent map for both players here. Minomone is going to be open on the front pretty decently here, but I think that's where you wall up anyways with all your military production buildings, if you even choose to wall at this point. On the opposite side, you got 3 nice ponds in the front that will protect you here. This is going to be very easy to wall off here wherever he chooses to. So, Timbrhoggvandi's map definitely looking a lot better, but oh, Britain's Mirror. We're going to see an insane battle here, I think, for game number 5. Winner of this wins the upper bracket of the tournament, and I couldn't be happier with how this one has gone. I think the Acropolis game between you guys was the craziest game of the tournament. Probably one of the best that we've had, and it's not been disappointing at all. I've also seen, you forgot to mention, additional berries on both sides. And Timbrhoggvandi's map, even better for that. 1 mill will do all of those berries. You also have an additional boar to start as well. And tons of wood. I mean, this is going to be a pretty heavy aggression map once it gets into the late game. At least Castle Age. I don't think we'll see very much feudal play from these guys in this one. Don't think we're going to go all feudal again. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. I mean, as far as the neutral golds go, as you can see on the mini-map here, you got the one right here in the center, this one right here, but you have tons of food, tons of wood. Selling it could be an option. You could even dock and put some fish trips on some ponds, but whew, man, this is going to be nuts. So many turkeys, so many turkeys, so many deer. This is a map that I can't believe that we didn't see Minomone pick Mongols on. Timbrhoggvandi had already selected Mongols in game number 1 for Arabia, but Mongols are insane on this map. Look at the hunt. Franks would have also been pretty decent with the farming upgrades, the barracks, or the mill berry upgrades, but nonetheless, it's going to be really interesting to see what we see here. And as a mirror, I'm super shocked. First time in the tournament with mirror, it's insane. This final has been so good. Can't complain. We still have another final, guys. For those of you who aren't following along with the tournament, we do have a Battlegrounds lower bracket, and that is with a little bit lower HP, or HP, a little bit lower ELO range. And we had originally decided to do one bracket to start with this tournament, but the way everything worked out, as we see this scout just narrowly surviving, Timbrhoggvandi did a good job to micro that. Why Britons pick Weasel? I mean, Britons are one of the better civs in the game. I mean, you have a fine map to do it. You've got plenty of wood, plenty of gold, plenty of, yep, sheep. The harvesting on the herdables is faster. I mean, all in all, it's a mighty fine pick when you have, what was it, 11 or 14 of these sheep. Weasel, I don't think it's about the extra food on them, it's about the speed. I think Mongols would have been my selection here for Minomone, but, I mean, Britons are solid too. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. You have a strategy. We might even see a Drush coming here from Minomone, which Timbrhoggvandi does see that stable, but with all this food, a Drush is extremely possible. He is on gold at this time, so we could definitely see it happen. As far as scouting goes, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at their scouting and the view lock. Minomone right now, he's managing his scout slightly. He is moving into a good position to wall up a large portion of his map, which I think is the right play at this point. He is going to be producing militia. He is on his way to feudal age, so this might turn into more of a man-at-arms rush. At this point, he is shift-clicking. He hasn't found his opponent yet, so building those militia is a little concerning when you don't even know where your opponent is, but when you have this much food, this much res, it's not a bad choice to go with at all. And then on the opposite side, Timbrhoggvandi, he has a very good map. He's not really walling this map up at all. He's really just looking to get to feudal, and I would expect to see a 2 archery range play from him, if not even scouts. I could see scouts being all right at this point. I mean, you have a mirror matchup, so you're not going to see anything too crazy. I mean, no matter what someone goes, they can counter it easily. It's all going to be about the eco and the microing of the military and the macro behind it. So I couldn't be happy to see our first mirror matchup actually show up here for the final game of the tournament. I mean, it's pretty crazy. These walls are going to be getting up. I think there's a hole over here yet, this hole here, and he has got a big long run around over here. But we are seeing an archery range come up. Nonetheless, we are going to have archers for both sides. No doubt in this game that will happen. Just kill it. There you go. Good job. Alright. Good job, villager. Good job. This wall over here is fine. He'll be able to hopefully not miss holes over here. Neither player out to their huntables yet, but most of the sheep have been eaten on both sides here, or turkeys, and double mill on the berries, not a bad plan. Archery production coming up. The man-at-arms are in over here. They did cause a little bit of idle time, taking 4 villagers off of gold, making him produce a house here, which he didn't need. Archers are going to come over here, though, and these men-at-arms are going to prove useless, except for to spread out some time, buy himself some time to finish walling, get his own archery ranges up, and start producing his own numbers. Which, honestly, if we look at the res, nope, he doesn't have enough for a fast castle after this, but this looks like it could be a fast castle play. It wouldn't surprise me if he just tries to get up to castle right away, but Timbrhoggvandi is already getting his archer numbers out, which is the unit he wants to go for. He's gonna need to get some more upgrades in, obviously, but I mean, right now he's got plenty of things going on. We do see an archery range up now, and I would expect to see some units produced from there. But farming eco, this hunt, take the hunt. It's okay. You do what you gotta do. I personally wouldn't build any farms on this map till all that was gone, unless I was desperately in need of protecting villagers near the town center. But that's me. and these guys are better than I am, so we're going to see how this works out here. We have 8 archers coming forward here for Timbrhoggvandi. We only have 1 produced thus far for Minomone, but he could produce a few skirms and be just fine as well. Man-at-Arms and Scout are going to work their way back over here, I imagine, try to get a few Vil kills while they can, and if he gets in here on this gold and Timbrhoggvandi doesn't see it, that could be a really good move, as we see Archer and then another, we'll have some skirms coming out here, which I think that is going to be just fine. We also have the Blacksmith coming up. He will hope to get some upgrades in here, as right now neither player has any upgrades whatsoever. There's going to be a hole here, but this villager should be able to plug it and buy himself some more time to get in there. Not a ton, but he is going to take this house out. It buys enough time to get some more skirmishers out and get fletching upgrade coming in. On the opposite side, we have a blacksmith just going up as well, so I'd expect to see some upgrades coming as well. He did cause idle time here. He did potentially get a villager or two. Not sure, I missed on that one because I was paying attention to this here. But will there be a hole? Good questions. We'll find out. Nothing yet. Second archery range is going to come down now that fletching has come in here, and I would like to see the skirms. Yep, the skirms move forward in front of the archers and start doing some damage here. Take out what you can. Those archers were just attacking the house. Lost an archer for free, essentially, over here. There is a hole here still, and those houses have not blocked it up. There's a house that will block the hole. Minomone is still decently ahead in this one, and I think he's up by 4 villagers at this point. We are seeing the armor upgrade come in as well. That gate is in a rough position, but should be fine. Should get it up at this point. Maybe get his military over there and defend it, but we are seeing archers go to multiple sides, so we're definitely seeing Timbrhoggvandi want to get in here. 2 stable production, or 2 archer production coming in here. So even though there are a good bit of archers on the field, there are no skirms up for Timbrhoggvandi at this point, which I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's got the better upgrades at this point, and he's going to just defend, and boom. That's what he needs to do. And that's what he's going for right now. This hill is going to be a problem, I think, here for Minomone. He's going to have to secure that in one way or another. But there are any hills in the middle of this map, which I do not mind at all. There's no elevation at all right there. We have a fight going on over here where Minomone is definitely taking a better trade here, as Minomone loses none again. And Minomone is just pulling ahead here on villager numbers, and military numbers are close, but Minomone also has 6 kills to his 3 deaths, which also helps boost his score a little bit. And as far as scouting goes right now, let's go ahead and check out what they're seeing. Yeah, Minomone has scouted a large portion of the map, whereas Timbrhoggvandi hasn't scouted a much at all there comparison. But that's part of the score as well, as a lot of the score is coming from that. Oh, this is going to be a massacre. He's getting up on the hill. He's got a ton of skirms in here. The archers are just attacking the house. He loses all of his military numbers over here. Gets away with 1 sole archer. Military numbers now in favor of Minomone, which are pretty decently in favor, especially considering both players are going to be looking to go up here pretty soon. Minomone is going to be up faster at this rate, for his eco is much more balanced. He does have more on food right now. He is getting some hunt over here for Timbrhoggvandi, but his farm play is working out just fine. Another big fight going down here. Minomone is going to win this fight very, very handily. He didn't lose a whole lot at all in comparison, and now we're going to see Minomone hopefully push forward here and try to take advantage of what he's just done. And yeah, we are seeing him move in. He is going to be up to Castle Age pretty quick here in comparison to Timbrhoggvandi. Minomone is taking really good fights. He just killed tons of archers over there for free, essentially. Yeah, he is losing some numbers on the front here. He is microing them, though. Within 3 tiles, micro is not even necessary. Units will not miss. Right now, though, it looks like we're going to have a Ooh, is it going to be 20 to 5? More units coming forward. That's still the original scout. I don't see a stable yet, so he's not making scouts. That's still his original scout at this point. 13 units going in here. All archers minus, what, 2, 3 skirmishers in here. He could do some serious damage with this. He is also on his way to Castle Age, and Timbrhoggvandi is in trouble. More villagers are going to go down here. He was already behind in the villager count, and Minomone has done a great job to defend from his base. He is going to have to fight a ton of skirms, so Timbrhoggvandi is definitely taking a better fight at this point. He even sent some over and took the fire off. Looks like we might see 3 more villagers go down, maybe even 4 villagers go down here. Castle Age is coming in really quickly, guys. I have to shift over to view lock for Minomone, and I will be right back in 1 second. Alright guys, Minomone got pushed back into his base here. He's up to Castle Age faster. He's gonna get some more of his upgrades in here, and he is going to get a siege workshop up at the same time, so I'd expect to see a good bit of siege onagers coming out, or mangonels coming out of that workshop right now, which I think is a fine play at this point. But Minomone is really far ahead, and it's going to be hard for Timbrhoggvandi to come back to this. He's really going to have to get his boom going in Castle Age at this point. We also are seeing some knight production come out here for Minomone, which is going to be a surprise here for Timbrhoggvandi, and this whole military force is going to get wiped up before the upgrades even come in at this rate. Yeah, and he's going to do what he needs to do and retreat backwards to get closer to his reinforcements, and hopefully not lose all of his military before the upgrades come in, although he is going to lose a few numbers during his retreat. Alright, so no siege units out yet, but the eco is going to be rolling behind this up to 3 town centers. Sorry, apologies, 2 town centers down for both players already. We're going to need to see a third coming up here. Yep, a third from Timbrhoggvandi. He's going to have to need that right now. These knights are going to do a really good job. These are just archers and skirmishers against crossbows and knights, and yeah, you can't take that fight right there. That is going to be a difficult fight for you to win when you don't have your crossbow upgrade in at this point. There's one lonely archer's over here, just attacking this house, trying to poke a hole in it still. I think that's the one that survived the earlier attack at this point. Lots of military out here for Minomone, and mangonels are coming out at the same time. And he's going to push And he's going to be able to push the military production buildings of Timbrhoggvandi, who is now behind a good bit of villagers, as it's 59 to 46 right now. Also, we have Minomone getting ballistics, producing knights. He has a good number of crossbows, and we're going to have some mangonels in the mix with some upgrades coming in for his knight line, and his crossbows already upgraded. Yep, attack, fall back, hit and run style. Get your mangonels and knights in here. Another town summon coming down for Timbrhoggvandi. I think he definitely needs that. Oh, we could see a big mangonel shot here. Yep, that one. We got a few kills, but this choke is gonna hurt right now, especially if the mangonel gets a shot off. Oh. Yeah, mangonel did a good bit of damage there. Knights have abandoned the front here. Not exactly sure where they have gone off to at this point, but they're running around here somewhere. Oh, they went to clear up that soul archer over there. If we would have had the knights here, that would have been an even better exchange for him. And we see a very forward castle coming in for Minomone. Minomone's in a very good position. He's going to be pressuring the front. He has the military numbers to push out. I just want to know when and where these villagers are coming from. And yep, he is sending a ton of villagers. This castle should go up, no question. Timbrhoggvandi just doesn't have the production behind this. He's chosen to boom, which he had to do. He was behind for a very long time, but right now he's behind heavily on military numbers. Skirmishers are going to be outmatched by these knights, and then you have a lot of crossbows behind this. That castle is going to be going very forward. He moved it back just slightly, it looked like, or moved it forward maybe, but Timbrhoggvandi definitely sees this coming in. This is nothing but a skirmisher army, and those knights will take out all of those skirmishers. There are no crossbows here. I don't see any spears there either. Minomone has put himself in a really, really great position to take Game 5 and potentially win the final here very soon, and he's just going to keep building more forward production. Knights have gone around and found a town center. Castle is going to be attacking the forward production. All we need to see are some siege units out from Minomone, who's actually going for some style points and throwing down some longbows. A castle is going to come down over here for Timbrhoggvandi, but Minomone is most likely going to see this. He already has his knights headed in that direction. He's just going to pass by, but here comes the entire army. I don't think this castle goes up. I don't think it's going to go up at all. There's too much military here. Mangonel is coming forward as well, and he's just going to attack this town center. He's confident enough to attack crossbows v skirmisher at this point, and we have forward siege coming as well. Longbows are also out and being mixed into the military. Knights and one mangonel are going to take this down. Villagers are coming forward to probably try to get this castle up, but he's gonna attempt it. But I think Minomone knows what he's gonna try to do here, and I don't think it's gonna go very well for him. Battering rams also going to be coming out on the front here. 3 mangonels will take down this town center and will take down, to prevent this castle from even going up at this point. Minomone has positioned himself so well with that forward castle in his forward production, and he's getting another forward castle, an in-your-face, get out of this tournament castle to Timbrhoggvandi. It looks like Minomone is very positioned to take this one and win Battlegrounds. Yep, the GG comes in for Timbrhoggvandi, and Minomone has taken it. Timbrhoggvandi throws congratulations out there, although I'm sure he's disappointed. Guys, that was an insane series. It was so good. I'm really happy with how this one went. I can't wait to upload this to YouTube, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. Minomone, well played. GG. I'll be speaking to you in the next coming day here, and we'll talk about a few things. But GG. Well played. Brinsmere, Yucatan, Minomone takes it from Timbrhoggvandi and wins Battlegrounds upper bracket. Whew. Guys, that was crazy. GG, well played, everybody there. Minomone, that was insane. Timbrhoggvandi, you did great. You made it all the way to the finals as well. Congratulations. Guys, this is where we're going to go ahead and end the YouTube video here. Hope you guys on YouTube enjoy. Come over to the Twitch stream and see how things are going sometime.